Welcome to another edition of Grove 911. I'm Officer Mike Vandervort, and my partner Katie is not here today. She's on training, but we're at the BCA, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension up in St. Paul. And Michelle Frascone, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This is your first time on Grove 911. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you've been on first response, so you have a little bit of experience.
I have.
And you used to be with Woodbury PD, right?
I did.
Okay, so you've probably seen our show a couple hundred times, I'm guessing.
At least.
At least. So we're at the BCA today in St. Paul. Michelle and the staff have agreed to kind of let us know what they do here. And what is the BCA? Or people see that on TV. What is it?
So the BCA is the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. We have quite a few different positions here within the BCA. Where I'm assigned to is investigations. So I'm a special agent. I'm a licensed police officer. As you mentioned, I came from Woodbury Police Department, and now I'm here at the state. And I'm assigned to Washington County as your special agent. So if Cottage Grove PD was to call us for assistance, I would be your agent likely responding.
You guys do a lot of stuff for Washington County, Cottage Grove. I mean, there's many things we use the BCA for. What can the citizens use the BCA for? What happens when you come in the lobby area here?
The public lobby area, you can do criminal background checks. So if you were to want your background checked, you're able to come here to our public lobby and have that done. You're also able to do fingerprinting here at the lobby as well. You do have to have an appointment, but those are things that citizens can come here to the BCA in St. Paul and have done for them.
People can get fingerprints for like job applications and stuff like that, but I mean, you guys also do fingerprinting for criminal cases, correct, right?
We do. We do fingerprinting for a bunch of different reasons. One would be criminal, non-criminal. If you needed fingerprints for, like you said, employment or adoption, there's a bunch of different reasons that you may need fingerprinting done, and you can come here to have them done.
Why don't we head upstairs and we'll take a look at the fingerprint division here at the BCA, so stay tuned. Well, Michelle, we're up on the third floor here, a place that a lot of people don't get to go because this is kind of this is where it all happens.
Right. This is the kind of the brain of the BCA.
Sure.
We're really just right in the middle of our building here in St. Paul, and we're out in front of Latent fingerprint section, which is where if you had fingerprints taken and submitted through a case or otherwise is where it would come.
Like the Cottage Grove Police, if we have a crime we're investigating and we are able to get fingerprints, we would send them here, and then what happens?
They go to a scientist who will evaluate what those prints are, and behind us there's a bunch of different types of prints that people have.
I was looking at my finger. I think I got the loop.
You have the loop.
I might have a loop and maybe a tented arch here and there. Are they all the same?
They're not all the same. Everybody has different fingerprints. They're unique to you.
I see some of those different signs throughout as we walk here. The Callie Joe Larson case was a big case in Minnesota, just by fingerprints. So I mean, they're amazing tools.
They're amazing tools, and to be able to lift them, there's a bunch of different ways people can process to lift prints at a crime scene. On our top section here, as we look at it, there's different adhesives, or blood can leave fingerprints. There's a bunch of different ways, and for the most part, you can't see it with your naked eye.
Right. People who aren't familiar with it, they see a show and the cops come out, they grab a fingerprint, and 40 minutes later they have their suspect, and that's not the real world.
That is not the real world. They're very, very quick here, but not in 40 minutes.
And especially, I mean, you guys cover the whole state.
We do.
So, I mean, we have police departments and sheriff offices that are sending all their stuff here.
That's correct. So we do have a lab here in St. Paul, and we're going to be going to our MITO lab next. That is housed only here in St. Paul, but we also have fingerprinting up in Bemidji.
All right, where's the MITO lab? That sounds pretty official.
Yes, we're going to go right around the corner to talk about missing person and DNA.
All right, well that's where we're headed next, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Where are we now? This looks pretty official.
We are at our MITO DNA lab, and as you can see behind us, there are a couple of scientists that are currently working on cases that are being processed. So they're working on a DNA extraction. So when we talk about MITO DNA, we're talking about your mother's lineage, so your female lineage through your family. And we have found that MITO DNA, if we cannot build a full profile of what your DNA strand is very, very helpful.
What kind of situation would this be used in?
We use this in a bunch of different situations, specifically with missing persons. So if we are able to recover remains and extract DNA, we have found that MITO DNA is very, very helpful for us to be able to put together a full DNA profile for identification.
We also do bloodstain pattern stuff. You want to talk about that?
Yep, we do bloodstain pattern analysis. Again, that's a scientific process of being able to look at blood patterns and determine specific events. So whether there was movement involved, directionality, you can do it from actual crime scene if you have a scientist out there, or from photograph as well. So you'll see in different crime scenes, especially on TV, where they'll put measurements up, and that assists with pattern analysis.
Where are we going to head to next?
I think we're going to head downstairs to the crime scene.
Ooh, that sounds fun. So why don't we pack up our stuff and we'll head downstairs. All right, Michelle, we're in the garage area here. We're next to this really cool looking vehicle that people might have seen on television.
Yeah, behind us is our crime scene team rig. This would be the vehicle that many people have probably seen on TV related to casework. This vehicle will typically go out to assist agencies or in officer-involved cases. So I am currently assigned to investigations or homicide. And so in a homicide case, if Cottage Grove or anybody in Washington County were to call us, I would very likely have this rig come out with me.
What else can you do in this truck?
We can process an entire crime scene with this truck alone. So again, we'll have scientists like we saw upstairs. They're very specialized in their field and very trained in crime scene response. So they'll come out and they'll assist with processing, photographing. We talked about blood spatter. We talked about DNA. We talked about fingerprint lifting. So any of those types of cases where we would be assisting you, we would have that specialty.
What do you do if there's multiple things going on? You kind of prioritize it and kind of just get to them as you can?
We have more than one rig and more than one crime scene team that's available to us. So this is typically the one that you will see, but we have another rig up in Bemidji as well that would be able to assist.
I appreciate you having us up here. I know we've kind of had some unrestricted access that other people may haven't had in the past, so we really appreciate that. But we think it's important to tie what the BCA does for not only our department, but for the citizens, and I think that's important.
Absolutely, it's definitely a partnership.
So, well, we appreciate you having us on the show, and we hopefully can come back sometime.
Yep.
And there's another truck there, but it's UPS. It's not the crime lab truck, so, but again, appreciate you giving us time to come on your show. So until next time, thanks to the BCA, and we'll see you on the next show. Be safe.